10 pickups from Maze of the Master. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Anything that you need from this set, both Kong's and Gamer's Choice, will have available for you. Discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchases. So Clear World, start things off over here. Now, I've been very adamant about saying that I think that this was like the beginning kind of stretch out here of the Clear World cards. While they made Clear World like actually have its own identity out here as a deck, it feels very, very much like the support was left open-ended. Like, Konami could actually print more Clear World cards at a later date, and it kind of feels like what they did with Arcana Force quite some time ago, where, you know, they printed Zafindo, and then they went ahead and made future stuff at a later date. And I think that's kind of the case of what we're seeing right now with the Clear World cards in general. All this stuff is very low rarity. It's for a pickup for a casual friendly deck. I think that this is not a bad opportunity to actually have. And then we have the Crystron Quanzing Longdrax, which I think that this is another major thing, because Crystron cards up until this point, you know, Citri and the Big Synchro here were both expensive cards. And they actually just effectively made Crystron into a budget deck, which was one of the biggest things that this set looked to do, was make Crystrons, you know, affordable. You know, for a deck that, you know, has been very borderline out here, been able to do a couple of things. Actually, having the cards be affordable means that more people will be able to, you know, pick them up. And like I said, having to rush out and spend, like, what was it, $20 pre-OTS pack for, like, a Citri, and then, you know, Queensing Longdrax for 2 cards was, like, $45. That is ridiculous. So now, if you're a budget player, you can actually look at the Crystron deck as an actual option that you'll be able to pick up and mess around with. And honestly, I think that that's a pretty big win. Give it a little bit of time. We'll see where things crash, but it's looking pretty good. Malchi Perua. I think that this is by far going to be one of the biggest long-term pickups out of this set. One thing that people were complaining about was, you know, the Malcharmies are too gosh darn money. So Konami announced the reprint for Food Wars and Quarter Century. What we didn't expect, though, was to receive Perua in this set. And the fact that Konami did it not only as an ultra rare, but also as a collector's rare for us enjoyers out here of wanting to pick up the good core set, nice collector's rares, you'll be able to actually do so with this. So I think we're looking pretty good here, actually. Perua is a very, very solid addition to this set. It's, you know, essentially there's going to be one staple that Konami's going to toss into these sets to entice people to want to be able to pick up. And Perua was the one. Quite honestly, I honestly hope that people will be able to afford Perulias now. Maybe not on like a grand scale, but they should push down to a point that they'll look a little bit better. Swordsoul goes budget. Holy crap. The fact that Konami has been pushing Swordsoul this hard in the reprint tree has been absolutely fantastic, man. You know, they did it in Master Duel. They showed off, hey, you know, we understand that you guys want like a good base deck to be able to get in the door. I do wholeheartedly believe that Swordsoul is a very decent deck that you can pick up, especially with the most recent 10E support out here, and be able to play. There's nothing really too bad now in the deck, except for I think the new 10E cards are like $10 to $12 per copy, and you're going to need those to add them to the deck to update that or upgrade that consistency and make it a little bit better. Yeah, Swordsoul cards are officially cheap. I mean, they were cheap, but let's call it what it is. Like, you didn't want to spend $8, $10 per copy of Mo Yi. That was absolutely ridiculous. All right, Odion's cards. So if you're a long-term fan of the anime, I think a lot of people did ask the what if question of, you know, what if Odion's cards actually got the chance to do something? Also, you know, I think we're all looking at these cards going, oh, hey, these are Eldritch power-ups. All right, if you're an Eldritch main out here, you're probably going to be looking at these as kind of a little bit of a fantastic addition to your deck, but also for lore reasons and things like that. I think a lot of people are going to be excited to add these cards to their deck / collection and be able to try these out. All right, that's just kind of the situation that we're finding ourselves in with the Odion stuff. It's a brand new theme. It's an anime tie-in. People love getting anime tie-in upgrades for their stuff. It's always going to be the case. You're going to have a lot of excitement with these sorts of cards. And, you know, it's Odion. You were going to get some sort of Egyptian god power-ups with this theme. So I'm liking this. This is actually really nice. The Trickstar cards. Now, I have a little bit of a differing opinion on the Trickstar cards. I know that there are a lot of Trickstar mains out there, and a lot of people are kind of jumping for joy at this. The only real major one that I cared about was the one that ties into Marincess. Because, I hate to say this, but I think Marincess is just forever going to be the better deck between Trickstar and Marincess. Sorry, Trickstar guys, or mains, I understand that you like the Trickstar hand loop, you like drolling your opponent, taking away their hand, but unfortunately, that hasn't been a super relevant option in quite some time. It looks incredibly cool on paper, and it looks like you can do a couple of things with it, but it just is not really getting the job done out here in this day and era. But if you are a Marincess main, you got the card that you have been waiting for. It only took them how long to, port this in and give you guys the opportunity to get it? Holy crap. Kaiba's Dragon Cannon cards. Now, first of all, I'm going to say this. About time, Konami. I don't know what took so long, but, like, we're finally able to do, like, the Egyptian god pummeling punch of, madness out here. Like, actually about time. Now, is this going to be super competitive? I don't think so. I think in my time of seeing this deck sticking around in the competitive scene in Japan, I think I've only seen it 2-3 times. Honestly, maybe 4. But it was a cool idea that you could do things, but also, the X headpiece, which is kind of the most important one, is a little bit, jammed up and a little bit unsearchable. So that kind of creates some tension with the deck, which kind of a little bit disappointing. I think, though, if you're an Egyptian god player and you want to build your Kaiba theme deck, here you go. Enjoy. Galaxy cards. So this is going to be Nazar's stuff. I think that the Primal Dragon is a fantastically strong card, man. Konami really opened up the floodgates out here to allowing madness with this theme. It by far is so far ahead of the rest of the stuff in this Duelist pack. And it opens up the Catapult Turtle FTK, which, you already got people out here that are going to go, I can't believe Catapult Turtle's still legal. Yeah, I don't think it's going to do too much, honestly. But, you're going to have a couple speculators out here looking or wanting to play the Nazar stuff just to be able to get this deck off of the ground and see what they can do. All right, you have to keep in mind that Primal Dragon's probably going to be an expensive card. Post-release, if depending on how many copies you're really looking and how bad those pull ratios are going to be, so that might be worth keeping an eye on. 7 Tachyon. Now I understand that this card is the most expensive card in this set. I understand that it's bad because the competitive players are the ones that are forcing this card up. The casual Shark Duelist that wanted to play this card is going to have to pay a ridiculous and absorbent price tag to be able to play this. And I'm sorry for that, but that's what happens when Konami, makes a card that interacts with Ryzel, and then you've got Ryzel pushing up through the death ceiling up here, going crazy as the meta is just surfacing and changing around the card and making it, one of those cards that is going to be so mandatory in the meta. It does make the pickup list if you are a Shark main out here, unfortunately. If you are one of those people wanting to have this, I'm sorry for the loss. Now, I think the biggest pickup is for the collector side here, and it's the QCR Silent Magician and the number 107. The last 2 quarter centuries out here. Now, I don't think that these two are going to break too crazy long term. I think if, you enjoyed Silent Magician Level 8's final scene in the anime, or you like how iconic that this art is, I think that you've got something really, really special in front of you here. And that's what these 2 cards are. They're meant to be iconic pieces from the game's history that both showcase, the power of these monsters, and just a nice little piece to be able to add to your collection. So those are our pickups for this set. Honestly, quite nice options. But check out our friends down below at Gamer's Choice and Kong's Cards discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase. You guys have a good rest of your day. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.